Hello, this is Alexius, and welcome back to Automation as Monza Motors in 1982, where we're looking at a few things. The company's doing well. We're about to invest quite a bit of money, but outside of that, there is a desire to do a fancy car. So, I think what we're going to start with, car projects. We're going to want it to be everywhere. We'll look at what kinds of models we have available. Now, checking into it, what we're going to want is a coupe. So what coupes do we have available? We have this fairly beefy one. And the things I'm looking for are overall wheelbase, track width, and drag. Notchback. Oh, because it's got a little bit of... Okay. Oh, there's the Corvette. Which is a classic design. I'm not against that. See what their drag is. 275. Good track width. Decent enough wheelbase. We may actually use that one, because we don't want to go too old. But we could also do a smaller vehicle. Oh, there's the Porsche. Wow, some of these are buttered brick going through the air. This one is not bad either. And it would be more of, say, a GT, whereas this would... Corvette body would definitely be more of a sports vehicle. I like the idea of a light sports vehicle though. This will weigh less. Still has a lot of track width, even if the wheelbase is smaller. Alright, where to go from here? Do we want fiberglass or aluminum? Fiberglass is lighter weight. I think that's what we're going to aim for. Could go with the space frame. Could go with the monocoque. I think I'll keep it traditional in that sense. Corrosion resistant steel for the chassis. I don't have aluminum yet. And we'll do a mid-longitudinal engine. Kind of comparing the space frame. See where it is. And I think the double wishbone is the only real option to go with. Let's throw some quality in this. We can take our time to design this. New engine project. Boxer. 4-cylinder. Dual overhead cam. All aluminum block. There a Oh, there we go. Too much length. So if we bring down the bore, as a very small engine. And if we go with a transverse, it won't fit either. Mid-longitudinal. Like it should fit even worse this way. Yeah. Okay, so we'll have to go with the larger one. Get our boxer for dual overhead cam, all aluminum block. And I forgot to flip from transverse. Sure did. Is an absolutely tiny engine. You know what? Let's do it. It seems kind of crazy, but we have access to turbos now and we can actually go nuts. It's a tiny engine though. Maybe we're going to add more. And I don't want to go to a V. We have very little familiarity with it. Just see what we can do. Ball bearing, please. We want a race system, injection, multi-point, per cylinder, performance, premium fuel. Dude, that looks cool. I mean, it's set up wrong. Yeah, it's not quite generating it correctly. It's fine. We're looking at a 12.2 on that. Fuel exhaust, none, none, none. Looks like we can push up to 8,000 RPMs. $8,600. If we push, oh yeah, the engineering time for that's nuts. Could we drop it some? Like that is pretty significant. Drop it to a 2 maybe. Turbo we can push. Bottom end is easy to push. Fuel system maybe not all the way. And yeah, the exhaust system's easy. That top end though, that absolutely destroys the engineering time. Get this up to say 70. Alright, now for the fun part. Oh wow, that's getting up to max boost. What we want to do... Actually, I think I want the other curve. No? Okay. 89 foot-pounds. Kind of tweaking things to get it where it can go. We increase the AR ratio, pushing it up into the higher RPMs. Much like that. Then our power ends up looking a little different. What we're seeking is max power though. Yeah, I didn't think increasing the compressor would help so much. Bring the turbine all the way up. And if we do that, we increase the compressor until we start dropping in gains. We only get so high. Then we bring the turbine back down. That's the sweet spot that we can see. Bring the compressor down though. Then the turbine. Compressor, turbine, and this is just how I like to alternate it. Testing it out till I just don't see any gains anymore. And yeah, when you tend to do this, you end up with a compressor that is the constriction or airflow in the turbo. And that's fine. You do a turbo for efficiency, you want all of these to be nice and green. You do one for max power like this, you're going to constrict the compressor just to get that performance. Is there any reason to flatten out the boost? Flatten out that curve to about there. And we're looking at 110 horsepower out of a minuscule engine. You can of course bring down the intercooler. Yep, I think that's about the sweet spot. That's where we're going to be. If I max out the boost again, we're looking at nothing different. It makes sense to constrict it to the point and we'll get a flat curve. Which also extends the boost range. We'll do 30 pounds. Seems reasonable to me. Double check any final numbers. Well, could use a slightly bigger compressor. Slightly smaller turbine. And we do see some gain from bringing the AR ratio down. And that about checks it. No gains to be made without reconfiguring it. 114. We haven't maxed it out yet either. If we go back, we can definitely throw some compression on top of that. Using premium fuel so we can get a good compression ratio out of it. Oops. About how much the timing can really affect it when you have it turbocharged. So let's try advancing the timing. Definite benefit there. Advance it again. Some benefits still there. Advance it again. Not seeing the benefits. We're getting some drop off on the high end now. Drop it one more time and we'll revert if we don't see anything. Yeah. Starting to advance the timing too much. Any benefit from constricting the RPMs? 8,500 seems to be the best of it. With the turbo, you can use an over-rich mixture as well. Always forget about this, especially with a boost this much. Holy smokes. There we go. There's the over-rich. 10.2 with that amount of compression. Okay then. Theoretically, that shouldn't really change anything as far as the timing. But it's worth a check. Appears to be fine. The engine isn't even that loud. Pair of 44mm exhausts. Or we could stay with a single exhaust for the weight savings. Not that it's that much. Intercooler is still constricting it slightly because we've boosted the engine quite a bit. 1.5. Alright, how much engineering time do I really want? 151. Thinking of the number of years, 151 is at just over 12 years. If we want 12 years, we should do 144. That's plenty of time. I'm gonna leave it though. We'll aim for 151. Yeah, that's definitely a high compression engine. Back, do we want to adjust the cam profile at all? What does that look like? I mean, it just makes us more aggressive. I think the 100 is too much. Just enough to hit 160 horsepower. That pleases me. So we'll tweak things to aim for 160 horsepower. And use anything above 160 horsepower to even out and lengthen the power curve, push it back. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So that makes this a Boxer 4, all aluminum. $56 by $75, 4-valve dual overhead cam. This one being a 07 turbo multi-point. Really, it's a race engine. That pumps 160 horsepower. There we go. Now we can get into the nuts and bolts of putting together the car itself. I want to keep it relatively small. That's the only more. Oh, there's the other more. Go for a flat back. Or should we be strange? I don't want to do the strange, see how the fixtures will end up. Do the fast back as much as we can. Get some more cabin space, but slope it back. There's no engine in the front. We don't really need a front. Whoa, that looks weird. I'm gonna do it. This car's gonna look crazy. Alright, there we go. Bump that quality up. Paint wise, can we make this a Fruinian flagship with a hefty green? Convertible top. It's the opposite of what I was trying to achieve. I'll redo all of this. Just trying to get it so we can get some numbers. It weighs 1600. Actually, not bad. What I was aiming for was something more sport-like, but if it ends up being more fiber than anything, then that's what it ends up being. No, that didn't change the engineering much. Alright, what other colors do we get? Bumpers can be different. And we will. We can do the hood. Have a tiny stripe up front. Actually, there is some benefit to that if I can isolate that one. What is the top? Alright, so let's get a new paint. Do the white. Rather not do the back end. What is this one? That's all down there. What if we swap those? Do the white here. And the green here. Whoops. I just reversed it. Oh, rats, I keep doing the same thing. This is the bonnet. We want yeah, not so sure about that one. May do all the trim in white. What are some other colors we could do? Anything look decent? I'm thinking not. We'll keep it green. Now let's go to the trim slots. Plastic. Doesn't look too bad. This one is do the white. Let's edit this paint. Chrome that. And leave it there. Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's nothing crazy. Headlights. You can have a little fun with this one. I'm not going to use some of the modern looks for it, but some of these I definitely am more willing to entertain, and I'm not going to stick to what looks like a Corvette. I'm not trying to reproduce the Corvette. I am trying to do something a little different. interesting. Do we also put in some fog lamps somewhere? You know what? We'll put these more to the center. That seems to be what I've been doing with the other vehicles. Ooh. Not sure that works out. No, that's terrible. I think these are yeah. I mean, they need to be smaller. Looks interesting. Not sure how I feel about it. I mean, this notch in the middle of the hood is just weird to work with. Grill-wise, I'm thinking I'll get some vents. Make those a little bigger. Push it right in there. No, not liking it. I don't know, I'm getting real fiddly with this. We just box it and shape it. Let's get that lined to the horizon. Take it right there. And bring the lights forward. And then we do anything that looks kind of fancy. Squeeze that in some. Tuck it in around the fog lamps. There we go, that's actually starting to look okay. And then put another brick down here, bring that forward. And that doesn't work out so well. Oops. Oh, I had the wrong one selected. That's why. Rats, and after I went to all that trouble. Almost produces a little bit of a scoop. The assumption being that'll bring it up underneath the carriage. And then, and this is what I've been going through recently in this series, is fiddling a lot more with aesthetics. I've been pretty pleased with it. I do like the discovery of these little scoops. You stick them down real low, and they stick out, and it actually looks okay depending on how you have it arranged. Yeah, let's not do that. We can still use them, but not right there. Back to the vents. Not intended as a vent, just as an accent of some kind. Ooh, actually. I was gonna do like a stylized M for Monza motors. Not sure what those are, but it's some interest in the middle of the black bumper. Or maybe something more like this. Actually, how far can I extend that? Let me put it on the side. It kind of follows the stripe down. Interesting. Then we can put another one on the side. Then that one out. Huh. That's an interesting look. Question is, do we do it along the length of the vehicle as a stylized thing? I don't think so. Anyways, back to the vent. A little bit smaller. Smaller still. Alright, there we go. We spent that much time on the front end alone. We won't finish this car this episode. But I wanted to make a fancy car. Definitely getting there. And I wanted to show you the steps of that. How that all occurred. I know I'm generally going to skip certain build outs because they take a while. Not sure this is the one I want to go with. limit some, maybe. Again, our body style is making it difficult to work with. Could do something like this instead. I don't really like it though. I want the discrete lights. I don't think we need any specific indicators. I don't think we need any venting on the rear. Low end side scoops. Okay with those. Both sets of wheels. Set it down low. Not sure I want them green. I may recolor those. I do want to get through all of this. Do we need any vents to go into the engine compartment, maybe? A little too big. Squeeze it down a little bit more. I think I'm adding too many vents. I'm getting distracted by them and wanting to add them everywhere. Put in our gas cap. Our door handles. Right about there, I think. Get a mirror in there. There's one I used recently that I liked. Ah, those. Don't look very sleek though. I don't know, a rounded one might be better. Wigging out. There we go. Throw on an aerial. Nice and simple. A little bit bigger. Get our license plate. which something I've had a thought for of late is to use something, either put it behind bring the plate forward. Just gives it a little bit of an accent. Something to catch the eye to look at. And then of late I've been using Monza motors. Put it there, like there. Eh. Little bit bigger. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Wheel-wise, it's futuristic for the 80s. Stick our exhaust right there. Any miscellaneous features to add? We throw our turbo on there. I have no idea what I'm going to call it yet. As far as things, of course, automatic wins. And looking at the 0 to 60, I think is why we're seeing benefits to bringing it down some. But we wanted it to have some top speed. What are we looking at here? A big drop. Keep the spacing narrow. Not terribly narrow. Got the wheels, which I'll have to mess with. How big a tire can we fit in there? 700s? So gigantic wheels. It looks silly. I think go with like 680s maybe on an 18-inch rim. And then I'll figure out the rest. We're going to want probably the magnesium ones. Those are the lightest weight. Probably semi-slicks. Brake wise, way over braked in the front. Fully clad undercarriage, no extra cooling required. I mean, we could. I don't think it's going to benefit, though. Interior-wise, I'm going to keep it down to a sport. Do the 8-track. Don't think power steering is needed, but variable hydraulic is desirable. Get some basic safety. Standard will bring us up to 32 almost. Aggressives aren't going to be desired. Air, maybe. Yes, monotube. And I'll tweak some of this off screen and get it to where it needs to be. And then we'll pick up with that at the next episode. But with that, I'm coming to an end. Let me know what you do like, what you don't like. It is a bit of a silly exercise, but I'm kind of stretching my imagination and doing something different. So I'll be curious to hear what you have to say, any suggestions you might have. But with that, I am clear out of time. Please leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Take care.